So hi everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of Postcards from the Brink. My name is Brian Johnson. I'm a recovering alcoholic addict. Um, I've got something like 781 days now sober. Um, but anyway, I just wanted to start this channel to um, share my story. And you guys already know this if you've watched the first episode. That was just kind of a little introduction, and kind of the first step in my drinking. Um, this is going to be a longer one. So anyway, if you like this or you like the first video, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel. And if you know somebody else who you think could benefit from this, please feel free to share it with them. The whole reason why I'm doing this is to hopefully reach somebody who's struggling and let them know that, there is a way out. No matter how hopeless things seem, there is a way out. So anyway, without further ado, I am outside and you can see I've got a visitor. So anyway, hopefully she doesn't give me too much trouble. I think her name is Sprinkles. We've got like 4 or 5 cats by now, and I have a hard time keeping track of them all, to be honest. But anyway, without further ado, here we go. At the end of July 2013, my ex-partner and I closed on a home purchase in Ellensburg, Washington. Since she and I are no longer on speaking terms, I'm going to call her Ellen. Anyway, Ellen and I started dating in 2010 and decided to make a lifelong commitment to each other in 2011. When we were dating in 2010, we lived with a couple of mutual friends, but decided to find our own places once Ellen and I made our lifelong commitment to each other. At that point, that was a little bit after our best friends had also gotten married to each other. So, once Ellen and I got married, we decided to part ways, move out of the same house, but I'm still best friends with him. And as far as I know, so is Ellen. Like I said, she and I aren't on speaking terms. We haven't talked for several years at all. So, but anyway, hang on. At that point, she and I moved to an apartment in Everett, Washington. Some time after moving in, I began to get chronic kidney infections. At the time, I would consider my drinking normal. While we were living with our best friends, I had only gotten drunk once. But once I started getting chronic kidney infections, I started drinking a bit more to try and relax and ironically deal with the pain of kidney infections by drinking alcohol, which is not good for your kidneys anyway. So yeah. Obviously alcohol isn't great for the kidneys, but that didn't occur to me at the time. Yeah, I know. How freaking dumb. Because of the infections, I had to have stents put in my right kidney. After a couple of years of doing that, my drinking started to slowly escalate. At the beginning of 2013, I was tired of going in to have the stents replaced every month, because literally I had to go in every month to have them replaced, because doctors just didn't know what was wrong, other than my kidney wasn't draining properly. So, by that time, I had also gotten a kidney infection that turned septic and damn near killed me. According to my mom, who was a nurse for 20 years, 20 plus years actually, if I'd waited another hour to go to the hospital, I would have died. And frankly, I owe in my life, regardless of how our relationship ended up. If she hadn't called 911 and insisted I go to the hospital, I would have died in our apartment. Because literally I was about an hour away from dying at that point. And that was years before my drinking was at its worst. So, you know, regardless of what happened between us, you know, I owe her my life. And so, yeah. I mean, Ellen, you know who you really are. If you're watching this, just know that. I'm still very grateful to you for that. Yep. Anyway, after the surgery, I went back to our apartment to recover. Because of the intense pain I was still in from the surgery itself, I was prescribed oxycodone to manage the pain. I remember that I continued taking it until it was all gone, despite not having really needed it for a week or so by that point. Looking back, that was obviously when I got hooked on oxys. I was born with a birth defect called spina bifida, and because of that, I had had 28 surgeries throughout my life before that kidney surgery. I had been given opiate painkillers after several of those surgeries, at least, if not many. But because I was a kid, my parents controlled how much I got so that I couldn't mess up and take too much or take it for too long. And while I was in the hospital, obviously, there was a morphine drip that had limiters on it. They had a way to limit how much you could get so that you couldn't overdose yourself in the hospital. So, yeah. But anyway, back to the story. Once I ran out of the oxycodone I'd been prescribed after that kidney surgery, I started drinking a beer every week. Eventually, Ellen came to me and said she didn't feel safe in our neighborhood in Everett. When I heard that, I asked her where she would feel safe, because her safety was my top priority. You know, back then my priorities were still pretty straightened out. And you know, when my ex told me that she didn't feel safe in our neighborhood, I was like, oh crap, okay, so we're moving. Where would you feel safe? She told me she wanted to move back to Ellensburg, and so she told her mom, and I told mine. She had grown up in Ellensburg, born and raised, so that's where she felt safest. Her mom was thrilled that we wanted to move back there, but I don't think my parents and my family were as plussed on the idea, but I think that they understood that I wanted Ellen to feel safe. So, you know, they eventually came around. At the end of July 2013, we closed on the house. we closed on a house in a good neighborhood. We were both happy. Ellen felt safe, and I felt proud to have a life partner, a house, and a car, and a very wonderful life partner at that. I can't tell you how many times since the end of our relationship that I've wished I'd gotten my act together in time to save my relationship with Ellen. But that's a story for another day.